Hello guys, this is GAKattak recording my first ever commentary. Here I'm playing Assassin's Creed 4. I've been enjoying it, or starting to enjoy it. It's the event Domination, which I'm going to talk about in a bit. They make a few changes that I think are good, and let's see, I'm playing with semicharmedali. No, semicharmedali. Semicharmedali. I've known her for about a year, I think, and I don't think I've played with her since for like 6 months, so it was kind of nice to see her again. I think she's an artifact assault player, and I'm a manhunt player, so this is new for both of us. This is kind of nice. Game's taking a little while to boot up here. Please wait momentarily, folks. Okay, so let's jump in. Let's see what's going on here. So there's 2 sets, no smoke bomb, no disguise, which I think are good actually, because disguise in this, you'll see in a bit why disguise would be it would be a little too effective. I think what Ubisoft did for Assassin's Creed 4 was they weakened all of the abilities that were really good in AC3, and so it made it a lot easier to have all of the abilities to be playable. I mean, even money bombs on this set. And sure, it's still not that good, but they made it. I was still using it. I was throwing it in, revealing civilians. It's a lot harder to use the lock trick, so you still need abilities to reveal targets to just be sure. So the meter for capturing territories, it only takes 5 seconds to capture. In AC3 it took 20 seconds, and so that meant that you'd be hopping around in that circle like I'm doing now. You'd be hopping around in that circle for a whole 20 seconds. Pursuer could get to you, and it was a lot harder to capture. And I mean, sure, it provided more of a challenge, but it just made it too hard to capture a territory, and I just think by making it 5 seconds to capture, it becomes about all the territories rather than just controlling one territory or controlling 2 territories and just winning that way. I think people will try to go for domination more often if they're given the chance, and so this is how domination, in my opinion, is supposed to be played. And I think Ubisoft did great by having GameLab be able to modify this. Let's talk about some of the abilities that were changed for AC4. I mentioned how the defensive abilities, or the good abilities back in AC3, got a little worse. Smoke bomb, if everybody's seen like the preview videos or other videos, you notice smoke bomb has a huge delay of 4 seconds, or no, not 4 seconds, what am I talking about? I think it takes like a good 1 second for it to deploy, and so it becomes much less of an aggressive ability. You can't just run in, drop smoke, and get a stun. You have to, it's used as kind of more of a last resort ability. You can still kind of use it aggressively, but you have to time it a lot better, and you can't just, it just can't be relied on as much as it was in AC3. And I think that's good, because it was relied on, nobody used it. So now people are using abilities like, well, the time phase, of course, they're using shield, disguise, even decoy. So I think that people are using a lot of the less used abilities back from AC3, even bodyguard. Let's see. Let's talk about my past in this game. I've been playing since, well, I joined in Brotherhood a little bit late, but that was indeed my first game. My friend got a PS3 and he's like, "Oh, you should play this." I'm like, "Okay, sure." And I started playing and I'm like, "This is awesome." Running around on the map, getting chase kills all over the place. And then eventually I realized, wow, that's making me lose. So then I begin playing more stealthy, and I think I'm such a badass. So that's when I start thinking I'm really cool. When I start playing stealthy. And I'm playing a little too slow to actually get a lot of points, but I'm learning what the game was supposed to be played, how the game was supposed to be played. So that was I only started playing really like July of, what was it, 2011? Is that when Brotherhood was still being played a lot? And then Revelations came out. And when I tried out the beta for it, I was really disappointed. I didn't like the changes. But I was still seeing it from the eyes of a noob. So my criticisms didn't really have much weight. I got used to it, and in the end I started playing Revelations a lot more. Just because the matchmaking was easier, really. That's really all I cared about. I didn't notice much of the differences, like how people complained about the smoke delay. That was pretty new to me. And so, Revelations I played a lot of. Smoke, I did believe Smoke was overpowered. Anyway, I played a lot of Deathmatch, some Manhunt. Never really touched Artifact Assault. And I joined my first clan, Abstergo Elite. And then, when AC3 came out, I learned, that's when I got on a competitive level, I think. And the reason for that was I started playing Assassinate, which it was like a workout. I got to work on free running. My free running improved a lot. And you know, it helps for modes like Domination, where I'm running around in the circle trying to escape my pursuer. I'm not just standing on the ground running around. And then I also learned, I started playing Manhunt a lot more. And I mean, at first I played Artifact Assault first, but then I got kind of annoyed. I don't know why. So I switched to Manhunt. And Manhunt I had a lot of fun with. Just because, I mean, I know that offensive smoke I considered offensive smoke really annoying. I thought it sucked that you had to use smoke, shield, knives as like the best ability set, because they were like the best abilities. But, I mean, then I just learned, you know what, fuck it. Offensive smoke is fine. Shield and knives is fine. Whatever gives you the win. Except cheating, like the minor hack glitch, that sucked. But whatever gives you the win, you know, we're all playing to win. And that's how I got on the competitive mindset. I didn't play for what was cheap, or what I didn't think was cheap. You know, I played to win. And there's no point in complaining if you're gonna give yourself a disadvantage. So I got really good at Manhunt. And so in AC4, I'm a little disappointed that Assassinate and Manhunt were changed. So I started playing the event. Domination. I think this is really fun. Artifact Assault 2 I thought was also really fun too. So, unlike in AC3, I expect to be playing, or Revelations, I expect to be playing all of the modes. I expect to be trying out Game Lab. This is going to be really, really fun. And it sucks that all the defensive abilities were like ruined. Oh yeah, knives too. Talk about that. But, you know, game's changing, and it's more about stealth. So with the knives, I'm pretty sure, I mean, it's hit and miss. I think a lot of people think it's hit and miss, or they think it doesn't work. Or other people think it does work when it doesn't always. So a lot of people aren't really sure how they work. And so I decided to test it out with some friends. And we barely found out, I don't think we even really found out what it did. So, the kill range and stun range are the same in AC3. And when you throw your knives, the description says it limits the action range of the person you knife. So, then I started wondering, why does it not work then? And I noticed that when you put the knife on somebody, most of the time, or pretty much every time, the only time you could get a stun was in the first like half second when they're like grabbing at their knee, they're kind of like writhing in pain. And then even then it didn't work. So, I mean, me and my friends were just kind of standing around getting knifed and then seeing how this doesn't work. I mean, we'd still get killed if the person was standing. So we were thinking, okay, how about we run around and then we knife. So we try that, and then sure enough, it worked more often than the standing somebody, knifing somebody who's standing. So if you knife somebody who's running, I think it's a lot easier to get the knife done. I think you still need to get the stun within the first second, but it's definitely a lot harder. It still is. That pretty much means hit and miss. But hopefully it'll encourage people to use disruption or poison dart. A lot of my friends are trying out poison dart. So yeah. Anyway, game's coming to a close. Thanks for watching. I'll be uploading Manhunt, Domination, all the modes. Maybe not Wanted, but all the modes, and this is going to be really fun. I encourage you guys to play the event this weekend. Try to get on the event. But if you don't see this in time, then maybe try the next event, or make your own game lap of domination. So, alright, see you guys. GAK out.